TV Nation? This is Mike, and today I'm back to talk to you about my back deck and my livewell system. I'm really close to finishing the back deck, and so I framed in a standard insert. I foamed around it and I restructured it so it's pretty solid and it's going to hold. And then I'm about to install my pump systems. This is a very basic DIY livewell system that's going to be really good for people who aren't they just need a livewell for bait. I'm mainly going to be using this for live gill and shad. That's really what unless I catch like a world record smallie or something, I'm really not going to be using this. I don't tournament fish. I recreational fish, and that's mainly the way I geared my boat. But I have my boat set up for two independent livewell systems that are going to use these. And so right now I have an inlet. This is kind of just pings into the wall of the livewell itself, and it closes. I have a big issue, and so does every other fisherman out here in Arizona, of transferring invasive species from water to water. So having one of these that actually closes shut is kind of a must. Or I don't know what they're called, like the agriculture people, they'll harass you and they'll make you not be able to cross, and they'll call the cops on you. It's, I don't know, big pain. Atwood aerator systems, you can find these at Walmart, find them on Amazon, find them on eBay. They're pretty cheap, very inexpensive, like 25 bucks. They come apart, so you can clear the bilge. And that's very important, because some of these bilges are like self-sealing. Some bilge pumps I have, like the roll bilge pumps, and that's not a pleasant thing. You want to watch yourself on that. But yeah, they go right in there. That's an 800 GPM or GPH gallons per hour. This is a 500 GPM or GPH filter. It's this one's the one that's going to recirc down the bottom and pump through. I'll show you in a second. I don't want to bore you guys with the content. This is my Y-gate system. It's a $5 Y-gate system, and this is what I'm going to use. Where I either shut this one off and it recircs, or I close this and open this one and it just pulls the water from the Y ball and pumps it out of the boat. So this is $5. It's a garden hose Y-gate and fittings that I'm going to retrofit to plastic tubing. I'm showing you how to do a very simple one that you can put in your bench seat or something like this. All right, if you really want a tournament style live well, I would check out Fireant Fishing's channel. I'll leave his description down in the link. Hopefully he made a playlist by now showing all his live well stuff. I'll try and give you that, or at least give you a link to his channel. So the whole point of this video is to give you guys a lot of ideas if you're trying to do a DIY live well system. We're just going to get started right now. Okay, so here's my back deck system, and it's going to be very much like my skiff with two cooler / live wells on each side, but these are much more advanced than what I had in my skiff, and then the gas tank in the middle. And the batteries are going to be in a step down stow right there, where I have a step up to that deck, because that deck is kind of tall. So it's all going to work really well. I have it in my head. I know it sounds weird, but whatever. Here is what I got going on. 1/2 inch Arctic Insul foam against here. So this got the radium barrier sheeting. I know there's like this purple foam that people are using in their boats. It's probably better and more resistant to mildew, but this stuff is what I got down here in Arizona. I can't find the purple stuff. But the good thing is it has this stuff. That's Tech Shield, that's radiant barrier sheeting, and that's pretty much how I have all my hatches. They're all insulated to resist the heat, because it gets stupid hot out here, and it'll melt stuff in your compartments, even if it's not in direct sunlight. So I have that around here, and there's a little example of that. And we're going to stick really thin 3/16 inch plywood on at least the backside where I'm going to run my pumps through. We're going to drill a hole through here. We're going to have an escape for the excess water. This is the best insert I could find. It's not going to work as well as I would want. I might have to put a spare different type of plug down here. I'm just going to figure out how I'm going to have to do that. A very small one. But I'm going to have a major plug here to drain the majority of the water. And we'll check that out. Alright, so this hole was already pre-fitted for, a hole drilled in. But I really just kind of stuck it right down there. There it is. I'm going to cut that nozzle down a little shorter. Just short enough for me to stick a screen on for later. Obviously that's way too obnoxiously long, so we're gonna cut that off with a grinder. So it should look like in the end. This thing kind of fits on really loose though. It's kind of worrying me, so you might want to stick some Teflon tape or some kind of non-permanent Loctite on that. I think that thing would just spin off with enough rattling, but it's I cut that off and there it goes. It's on there. Alright, so now that we have that installed, we're ready to install the initial port, which is this one. And we're gonna install this very thin 3/16 inch, I believe, plywood. Okay? This is going to be the backing. I need a backing between the foam. You can't tighten this against the foam. That's gonna not work. Ultimately, we want this to tighten against the insert and against the backing of this to create a sill, and then have the arc down, so it kind of sits like that. So what I'm gonna need is I'm gonna need a hole saws, okay, to a drill. We're gonna size this piece. That's obviously too big. I think that will do it. That one right there will do it. That's a, I don't know, look. Yeah, that should carry the back. So we're gonna do that right now and see how it works. Okay, through the wood. Yeah, there's a foam. If you drill through this plastic insert, you need to make sure that you're being very careful, because you can crack this thing, and that'll cause you a slew of other problems. Because this is a smaller bit, I already have the hole pre-drilled. I just don't want this to crack. This stupid plastic, I just don't want it to crack. Through. Yeah. So that's literally a 1/2 inch sheet of foam. I'm right at like 3/4 inches with the wood. I'm sorry, 3/16 with the wood. And so the hole should line up. Now I'm doing this all for my phone. I'm sorry guys, my GoPro's dead. So there we're gonna put that in. All right, we're gonna use that silicone sealant around each end before we completely fasten it here. But this is how we're gonna fasten it. I like the DAP, just the clear marine sealant. I'm just gonna quickly kind of preserve this hole, because I know that'll be not too bad. Pretty clean there. Came out right there. Let me see. You can see that? Stupid camera. Alright. There's that. All the way to the plumbing system. And there's that. And so that linked up pretty good. Now we're going to install, oh yeah, check that out, down there. That is the bilge out, okay? You need somewhere to that. I put it over there because there was already a hole drilled there and I had to do it. I would not have put my out bilge there, but there it is. For the now we're going to connect the Y-gate. These fittings aren't going to fit the type of hose that hit these fittings. They're slightly smaller, so what I did is I took a smaller diameter tubing like this, and I kind of more or less rubber shimmed the tubing. So this tubing will now fit over here snug, and then I can clamp it and then be done with it. That's Alright guys, so here's the finished project. Let me see if I can get my phone in here. Okay, so 2 nozzles, you know, 1 recirc inlet, and here's the back. There's a bunch of convolution of stuff, but here, that's the recirc pump. And it connects all the way up here into the Y-gate. I have extra long tube because that's how I had to work. I couldn't fit it. I needed the tube to be long enough to twist. And so here it goes into the Y-gate, and there's the on-off. So it's either going to go into here. I mean, that tube flies all the way over here. So opposite ends, right here, and then it hits here. You don't want to be sucking and pushing on the same water you're sucking. So you want that water to be displaced. So you want that farthest end over that you can. So it's over here. This is the inlet. Back to the, you know, that's the actual aerator pump, so pushing them in. So that works. It's just a complete recircing system, and that was quick. I did this in an hour. The whole thing. It's done. I just need 2 clamps on these ends, and that's it. I ran short 2 clamps, but that's it. All that's left to do is the wiring. I'm just going to run the wiring in a, in a conduit. You run it down that way, and my switch panel will be here for it. And so that's it. There, it's focusing. So, live well, so we were going to fill. It's not working.
Give it a second. Do you have these open?
Yeah, it's open. Oh, I don't.
Dumbass.
Stupid. Oops. Hey, don't judge me.
I'm judging you.
Alright, that's fine.
Small live well, dude. For bait,
It's
right?
a bait well, yeah. It's not an actual.
You might need better plastic.
I foamed the shit out of it. It's really, really heavily structured.
All right, speak.
I just want to see if it was gonna work.
Oh, well, okay.
Wanted you to.
That's pretty cool.
I want to see if it'll recirc here and everything, and then it'll bilge out. So there's that. It's filling perfectly. All right. That's enough to recirc it, I think. All right, let's do the recirc. There it goes. There's the recirc. But I'm honestly, I'm gonna have to re-angle that. Yeah, dude, it works.
Alright, I got jammed.
Yeah, me too. And so now I switched the Y gates. Let's see if that works. Should suck it out. It's sucking it out, yay! It's doing it. Okay guys, wrapping it up here. So it worked. Everything, all the short mods worked, and so I went ahead along and I'm moving forward with the other. The one thing I didn't include in this video was that you need like a runoff. So what I would have really done here, and what I'm still going to do here, because I have a spare one, I would have taken a kind of a bilge out fitting like these. These are really cheap, like $4 or $5 at Walmart, maybe more on Amazon or eBay. Just, you know, but I would have installed one of those right here to catch the runoff, and then I would have connected another tube, another plastic tube, and ran it back here somewhere, so it just ran off. If that were the case, that way you wouldn't just say I forgot to fill this, or this got actuated on accident. It wouldn't just flood over my whole deck system. It would just have a safe runoff. So we're gonna put one of those right here. Secondly, because I mentioned earlier I put the wrong kind of insert in here, which was a very stupid thing to do. I had to make a plug at the lowest part of where the water was going to sit, so I really just used a stainless steel stainless steel screw as basic form into backing. It has something that should grip into the backing, and so it sits pretty flush against the compartment. And you can even silicone it in there too. And so that's what I use as a plug. I mean, that's not the best plug, but really to find a plug that small is going to fit inside that gap. To me, it just seemed a little bit unrealistic. So the screw seems to work really well. It holds water, it doesn't leak, and when you need to unscrew it, and you know the rest of the water drains out, because there's this big, you know, underswing of all that water sitting in it that the recirc wasn't able to pick up and bilge out. Mainly the recirc is to siphon. When I'm storing live gill in here, or live shad, there's just, especially with bluegill, there's just so much crap. They really screw the water up quickly. And so it's really important that you bilge all that out, bilge all the ammonia, all the crap, all the poop, and just keep adding in fresh water. And one other thing, I'm going to add probably a Mr. Bubble Stone. I really wasn't too impressed with the recirc. Even when I'm flipping it around, not really sold on it that it's the way to go. Like I'm probably going to get a Mr. Bubbles and install it in here, have just a runoff, you know, air stone. Or maybe you can get an oxygenator of some sort and just run it off in here too. But I know the recirc to me is better just for cycling in and out fresh water. I'm not really sold that this the best way or the most efficient way to keep your fish aerated. So that's kind of where this is. That's kind of where I'm standing on this for the moment. This is gonna be perfect for me. This is a very, very small little bait well, you know, but it is what it is. It's a bait well. It's not a live well. I don't fish tournaments, and that's why I made it this way. I needed one. That was a kind of a do-it-all thing, and when I'm not using it as a live well, I can use it as a cooler. It's insulated. These are insulated hatches. I'm going to put out a video on how I did these hatches. There's some intro to it in my other videos, so just look for them. Check them out, guys. Thanks. About this very, very quick DIY live well system. It's very easy to install in a bench seat. I would think you just got to find the right sized insert that will fit right in your bench seat. You got that bench seat. Just make sure it's under-supported by foam of your choice, and then just lay that in there. That was cake. That was nothing took a hole saw, some tubing. I got all that stuff. You know, you can get the tubing at Lowe's, you can get the tubing at your do-it-yourself center. All of it's pretty good to go. If you like what you see here, guys, subscribe, because we're always doing boat mods. We're always doing a bunch of stuff all the time. All right, guys, peace.